Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars Edge of the Empire Afterlight Skies, where I was listening to a very strange conversation, and that's why I'm a little bit on the wrong part of my notes. So
Roman Reigns is an idiot.
You did this. Jeremy, introduce your character.
Hi, I'm Jerry. I am playing Corey Tane, the human outlaw tech, and let me roll my fate thing.
Yes, the old fate thing.
The fate thing. To light side, because Corey is light.
Okay, John.
I am John, and I'm playing Ares Artinos, who would totally spear Brock Lesnar through a cage, but wouldn't let him hit the ground first because I have jetpacks. And I will roll mine as well. Oh, look, one dark.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kat.
I'm Kat, and I am playing Powder, the medical droid who cares not about wrestling. I give us two dark side.
And Spencer.
I'm Spencer, playing Siolo Mobok, the ambassador to the rebellion, little Twi'lek, and we have another dark side.
All right. So, I'm going to give a little bit of an extended recap today because for those of you watching later on YouTube, it's been, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks since we were all in the same place and playing this game.
Something like that.
We are also missing 2 players today. Cody, who typically plays Praz, our Zabrak Commando, and Rerun, who plays her astromech droid and other mechanic. Sorry. So, last time on Afterlight Skies, he's setting down on Corellia to seek out Tunguska, a dog that Rerun is after for essentially enslaving him. In the past, they ran into another person who also happens to be looking for the same dog, Hondo Onaka. Hondo offered resources and assistance in tracking down Tunguska in exchange for the group helping to smooth over relations and a transaction with Albot, someone that the group had previously not endeared themselves to because the surgical droid decided to chop his hair in the middle of a bar.
Yep, that happened.
Devised a ruse of sorts to arrange things so that Powder would be under a lie detector, or promised that all of the hair had been returned / destroyed and that it would never happen again. That didn't go quite as planned, and even with some smoothing over from Siolo, so Madeline, the biologist that had come by to as an observer on Alvad's behalf, left with a warning to the group that this may not be sufficient. Specifically, as a reminder, Alvad's condition was that the hair was entirely returned, and that whatever measures needed to be taken so that Powder wouldn't do that in the future were taken. The group ultimately presented it as, we're in the middle of taking measures to make sure Powder never does it again. If that's incorrect, correct me.
I think that because I think
That's accurate.
Yeah,
we
sounds about
cleared
right.
we cleared the hair thing. It was the powder issue was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
It was the
issue.
future intent
Yeah.
in regard to people in general.
Right.
To make it
Yes.
perfectly clear, we had whether she accepted or not, we had expressed in a way that I believe that the computer results have done fine, that it was not going to happen to this person in the
Yeah.
future. It was
Alvad
just
was
whether
fine.
whether it happens to somebody else. Apparently, Alvad might be think about his fellow criminal in that matter. Yeah.
So
And whether
I
it
just
happens
want
to
to
other
remind
people.
you, it's
Yeah.
Star Wars, so he probably is, but you have no evidence that Alvad engages in illegal activities.
I mean, I understand that this is
Yeah.
Corey's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So, coming down to the place where Powder and Corey and Rerun and Praz
And I
are.
believe we specifically left off with Ares just trailing her with a gun until told it's fine.
Yeah. And so after leaving that off, I'm heading down
With
to
the gun that is on the top of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rerun had apologized to me, and there was some small talk, and then we panned to Ares just like.
Well, it would have been
Yep.
like that because it's computer controlled. It would just like
Oh,
laying back. One monitor has the race on, and the other hand just idly moving a cursor.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
it's a
it's
shoot.
from her perspective, like shot over her shoulder with just this
It's
giant gun following her.
Very cinematic. I like that.
So,
Yeah.
heading down to the bay. So, how'd it go?
Good.
Better than it could have gone, for sure.
So, Alvard will be thoroughly convinced that whatever it is that he had his panties in a twist about has been untwisted, and we'll sit down with What's-His-Face to do a deal so that Rerun can get his information.
That's definitely a thing that could happen.
Problem is, from what I could gather, they do not look at powder in the same light that we do, and we're expecting much different measures to be taken than what
So-
we
They
done
were
so far.
probably expecting a memory wipe.
Let's put a frank face on this. What we were talking to the person that we weren't talking to Alvad, we were talking to Alvad's friend who did the testing for us. And yeah, I think it went okay-ish. It could have gone much, much worse.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
How long do you think it'll take before we see how it goes?
You might want to man the guns just in case. I don't know how long it's going to take her to get back to Alvad's.
In the meantime, Prez informed us not but a little while ago that the Empire was looking for this very ship. How about we work on that in the meantime while we're waiting to hear back?
Okay.
I know we
What are
discussed
we gonna-
changing
Yeah, that's
I-
going to be that is, as
But it
we
was-
established, going to be expensive. But
insanely difficult to
give
do
us
that.
time, and we can come up with that amount of money.
Either that, or we just find somebody who's willing to do it for a favor and owe someone a favor. I'm not against killing a man for someone else to change our IDs.
Would it
Why
be...
do you always go to killing a man?
Because
Would
we
it-
live in a large galaxy and there's always people that need killing.
No, I think you seek those jobs. There's plenty that you could do that don't involve killing.
Hey, do what you're good at, right?
Jesus.
He does have a point.
Would it be safe for me to assume, and I just don't know this, like, story-wise in Star
Mhm.
Wars, like, changing transponder IDs and ship IDs and stuff, is that something the Rebellion... I would assume that's something the Rebellion does,
So-
right?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit before. The Rebellion absolutely has ships that have cloaked or changing transponder codes. Typically, the Rebellion doesn't have a ton of excess resources.
Right.
You would definitely need to do that. Would be one way that might be morally comfortable for a Sayolo to do it in exchange for a favor. Is you could reach
Okay.
out to Tiara or someone else you know from the Rebellion and be like, "Hey, we need new transponder codes," and you'd probably be sent to some cell that has a mechanic that has that sort of tech on hand and asked to do something for them. That would be your assessment anyway.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Sai just will pipe in since we're talking about it and say, I could possibly get in contact with either Tiara or an old buddy of mine, Cham, back on Ryloth, and I might have some connections that can do it. We're going to have to work for it, but it will be significantly cheaper than doing it legitimately.
Never turn down an honest day's work. And
So that
not
is an
necessarily
option.
has to be honest, but
But
I
we will
was
have...
going to say, I would refer you back to the conversation we just had.
killing people is the most honest work there is. One man honestly wants another one dead, and I provide a service.
I sadly am somewhat in agreement with Ares on this one. Bounty hunting is legitimate work.
Bounty hunting is not necessarily killing people.
50% of the time.
If it wasn't, then it wouldn't be dead or alive or dead only options.
I said, and she just opens her mouth.
Just
and I
as a reminder,
close
there
her
is
hand.
absolutely wanted alive bounties.
Yes.
There are.
She just
No
opens
one
her
takes
mouth,
those.
throws her hand up in front of her face, and turns around and walks away.
Okay.
Right. So, I guess you should probably call your alliance buddies then if we don't have any other options. Any better options.
Problem is, I mean, we will have to leave planet. I doubt.
Yeah,
I mean,
unless they
we
have a
could be
cell here.
surprised. Yeah, we guess we could be because we're on.
You're
Corellia.
on Corellia, which maybe it to you it would seem like it's very likely that it would be. You could potentially put off the favor,
Mhm.
but that it would be somewhere else.
Yeah. Kind of. Who would I feel more comfortable? To me, who would be most likely able to actually connect me with someone? Tiara or my my actual like rebellion leader on Ryloth?
Yeah. Make me either knowledge underworld or knowledge warfare. Your choice.
Okay.
Difficulty 3 because it's pretty specific.
Let's see. Knowledge underworld. I'm gonna burn a light side on this one. Straight wash.
Okay. So you don't necessarily know if, well, you may actually have an opinion on this. Here's what your leader is in charge of your cell, or the cell you're nominally associated with. He's definitely higher ranking than Tiara. But one of the things that the rebellion tends to do is tries to keep each area fairly isolated. So you don't know everyone that's in the rebellion. None of the people you know everyone that's in the rebellion, and you don't necessarily compare notes with each other.
We don't Skype call every other weekend just to catch up.
Is Tiara the one that Seth, that Sin and Lux
Yeah,
went with?
or Tiara was, I will sort of be getting to that in a way. Tiara was the one that they ultimately went with. She was the one who was with you on that mission.
Yeah.
So Tiara is more of a fixer. She's not necessarily she has a cell, mostly mercenaries. But a lot of what she does is in between, interfacing with both other cells and the underworld. She's a person with a lot of contacts, but she's not necessarily as official in terms of the rebellion, though she absolutely works with the rebellion.
Okay, so I'm getting the sense maybe I might have better luck, at least initially, calling Cham my cell person.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then I will set up a phone call. And I'm going to pull an Ares and ask for privacy in the cockpit and do it there.
All right. There's.
It's not pulling an Ares if you ask.
That's fair.
As you head into the cockpit and presumably just lock the doors behind you, there's still a pod race going on the little hollow side of the console.
Oh yeah.
I'm
gonna mute but leave it on.
Okay.
Feels like this is actually interesting. Hang on.
Yeah, Sai has grown to really love these pod races. So yeah.
Now this one's not the most exciting you've seen, but it's pretty good. It's fairly fast paced.
Sai's at the stage where he's still trying to learn team names and like learn the racers and that kind of stuff. So
it's pod racing that keeps Sai and Ares from killing each other. Is basically what's happening. Is what we're learning right now.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to actually come up with descriptions for these pod races at some point. Yeah. So you set up the secure line. Did you give me? Is it just in your backstory area that's listed, or did you give me a separate bio?
I thought I also emailed it to you. I might not have though, because it was a while ago. But it's for sure just in my character sheet bio info.
Okay.
It's the last little paragraph.
Oh, you work for. Oh, yes, I remember. Yep. You work for someone that is actually in the universe.
An actual person, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You work for Herod. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll set in a call and just wait patiently for it to, go through the security channels and connect and all that jazz.
Yeah. It takes a while, but you do eventually get through. Cham he's older than you by a fair margin and clearly is pretty distracted at the moment looking through some files. You can't obviously see the background as hollow images tend to just be the individual. But it's clear that this has been set up in a somewhat cramped space. You occasionally see the arm or leg of someone else that just gets close enough that the hollow registers them as also on camera.
Like clips them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a report?
Yes and no. First and foremost, the recruiting on the Outer Rim is a little bit more difficult than expected. Many smaller wars going on, and hard to get folks to leave one to join another. But I've joined a team, and making progress on, at bare minimum, making new contacts for the movement. I do have, though, a request. We
Yeah.
have garnered the attention of the Empire and need to either swap or code. I'm not sure what the terminology would be, but change ship IDs.
If you've recruited a crew that's able to help us here on Ryloth somewhat permanently, we can certainly scramble the IDs so you can get here.
Permanently is a strong word, sir. They would definitely be willing to help, but part of joining the crew, I thought, was to not be on Ryloth, to be out and about garnering new allies that could send aid back home.
Yes, well, if that aid would have to be quite sizable. Well, if you're not sending a crew, what can you send? What can you send?
Well, the crew that I have with me has very specialized talents and skills. We could possibly take care of a substantial problem back home to help alleviate some of the burden of the movement before we head back out. While it is not permanent, it would be could be something quite important to you or our people.
Our people will need our planet free. Our people will need the war, her specifically on our homeland, and to progress as in our favor. We can fight and win battles, but unless we beat back the Empire, we're losing ground.
I understand that. But as we both know, that won't happen overnight, and even a small victory can inspire hope in others to make greater change down the future. So, if the answer is no, I understand and I will respect it. But I feel like the work I'm doing out here, away from home, is just as valuable as something I could be doing back on Ryloth.
If that is your answer, that is your answer. And the transmission cuts out.
That fucker. I just kind of sit there for a moment, and I punch in a code, and then kind of bite my lip and backspace it, and just let's see what they think. And I stand up and I make my way. Spencer doesn't remember this, but Sai remembers this. Who on the ship actually worked with Sin, and then before they left with Tiara?
Powder.
Okay, cool.
And Praz and Rerun, but
Okay.
Rerun, actually, no. To Sin's knowledge, Rerun has not worked with Tiara.
oh yeah, sorry. I thought Ciola said with Sin and Lux, not with Tiara.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, cool. Then I make my way to find Powder.
Oh,
Powder's probably in the med bay. Cataloging things.
Powder, how are we feeling today?
Feeling?
How's the blips computer stuff going on?
It is fine.
Good. That's good to hear. I had a question that might turn into a favor, if you have a moment.
Yes.
Do you remember Tiara? I believe you worked with her in the past.
Yes.
I was going to call her to see if maybe she could aid us in the whole ship code issue with the Empire. However, I only know her briefly. I only did a single job with her, and so I was hoping to maybe have someone else with me who has maybe done more work and could just add to the conversation if need be. I would get Praz, but he seems to be sick with the Corellian flu, and Rerun is doing whatever Rerun does, so...
I do not know how much help I would be, but sure.
You're a ton of help. Come on. And I just like arm in arm Powder back to the back to the cockpit.
Powder
and then
will allow themselves to be dragged to the cockpit.
They walk past Ares, who's just like in the den, like sitting in a thing with a thing on his face, going, "Holy shit, man! This is like really nice."
And Ares has found
That's
the VR.
what the visor thing that Luke has is actually for.
Yeah.
Now
It's
this
like
is pod racing.
It's like watching a monkey try to fuck a football in the middle of a dumpster fire.
You stole that from
Wow.
somewhere, and I don't remember where.
That is an image. Thanks for that, Jeremy.
You're welcome.
I feel like, yeah.
I have heard that. I just don't know where.
Monkey fucking a football?
Yeah.
I took that from our Wrestling Zone editor. I don't know where he got it from.
Movie. Anyways.
So yeah, Sai and
Your neck of the woods, so it might be a local thing.
Might
God.
be.
It sound no offense, but it sounds like it's.
Oh no, that is definitely a Southern saying at some point.
Okay, before I get hate comments about potentially attributed Georgia-isms,
She's actually North Carolina, but same
Okay.
thing, right?
Don't tell anyone from North Carolina that.
I'm just trying to dig at this point.
I know, but there's a story.
Yes, sorry.
Anyway.
yeah, so Sai and Powder call up Tiara.
It takes a while because, well, you don't know. But eventually, Tiara, who she's still wearing that slightly flamboyant dress. Her hair is very disarrayed. She's rubbing her eyes. Hello.
Hello, Tiara. How are you doing?
Oh, hey, Sai. How's Powder? Was it? How's your thing going? Or
It's going.
on well?
Yeah, a lot of work getting done. I had a possible favor, maybe just a simple request, to pass your way.
Sure, for sure. Lay it on me.
So obviously, given the work that this crew does, we found ourselves being tailed by the Empire, specifically our ship codes. Looking for a way to work around that, either getting them changed, maybe having something on board that can, I don't know, mask it temporarily so we don't get in trouble with boss. But some of my contacts are running a little thin as of late, and was hoping maybe you could pull a rabbit out of a hat like you're known to do.
Yeah, sure. You need. Okay, where in the galaxy are you?
We are currently on Corellia.
Okay. Sorry, it's just there's. Since I was on that bit with you guys, or your new crew now, they've been harrying us a lot. That bitch does not give up. Okay. It's not a comment. It's clearly not. It's clearly directed at whatever Imperials she is having conflict with.
Uh-huh. She's like,
Um,
no, I don't fucking give up. That's why I'm still alive, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yeah. That. So. I can. You will owe me, whoever. You will all owe me a major favor for this, but I can get a guy I know to have the work done for you. See. In Terrania, on same planet.
Okay.
Give
Deal.
me about hour old. Actually, no. He'll contact you.
Even better.
You owe me for this. You understand?
I figured, Tiara. I appreciate it. Whatever you call, I'll answer and it'll get done.
Sure. No! Fuck! Don't! Sethanarth! And the tongue cuts out.
Apparently she's on Eberron right now.
Wait, fuck.
I was gonna
So
say,
I'm so used to yelling at John's character full name, Sethanarth, that I
I look at Powder and go,
Sensaku.
who's Sethanar?
He says Sensaku, which is also a name you are not familiar with.
Right, yeah.
Powder smiles.
I was very confused for about 2 seconds.
I misspoke. It's not like I get your names right half the time anyway.
And you thought the new Avengers Infinity War was the greatest crossover.
I feel like that crossover would just be Alex staring at everything with very wide eyes. Okay. moving on.
So when the call ends, I'll look over at Powder and say, I think that went well. Any thoughts on what this favor might be?
No idea.
Well,
It is nice that Sun is still alive. And Powder will turn around and start walking out.
bare minimum, I'll probably give Ares and Prize something to shoot at in the future. And I turn on the comm and say, I think I fixed the ship code issue. We will owe Tiara a favor in the future, but it's probably nothing we wouldn't most likely be doing anyways. My
Sounds
assumption
good
would
to
be.
me.
So we gotta stay on planet. That's where it'll be fixed, but we're here anyways. So
Looks for
buckle up.
me. Right. So, what's next? Let's see. Gotta wait for that. Gotta wait for what's his fuck face? Gotta wait for
Ares, we didn't
other
get
things.
any luck on finding your Doug, did we?
No, still waiting on that too from Corey's relative.
All right, it's a big old waiting game.
Wait
Now
for
we
the
all-
leads to come to us.
We are being watched, hunted, whatever the right term would be, by the Empire.
Well,
Is staying here, waiting, a good idea? Should we be moving around at least?
unlikely that I think they're gonna bomb their own port. They'd probably just send in a bunch of stormtroopers, and that could be handled.
So, second opinions.
As Jeremy just dies.
I feel like Corey did that as well.
Probably.
We're listening from her her workshop. Nobody saw it. It was just a.
I mean, we all mentally saw it. We just physically
Yes.
didn't see it.
That is fair.
Powder will go and bring Corey some coffee.
mean, if
All right,
the
what's
more
the plan again?
the more we move around, seriously though, the more we move around, the more transponder code has to be flashed around. The more likely it is for them to find us. At least until it's
Right.
fixed. So, staying put until we have to move is probably the best idea. But we can keep an eye on any sort of activity that we might. That if it seems like a bunch of star destroyers suddenly warp in over the planet, then we might want to start moving. But
Well,
until that
first, I'm
point,
taking a picture, and
Oh.
then we can move.
sure. Until that point, let's assume we're not seen until we have confirmation otherwise. Moving might get us caught.
Okay, I'll take your expertise on it. Is there anything else we have to do other than wait on what seems like 3 or 4 different groups?
Corey,
Is, I believe, in a different place.
we're
Yes,
using the
but
intercom.
listening.
Oh,
Intercom.
Corey, do you have anything? You want to go talk to your aunt?
Click.
Take that as a no.
It's a solid no.
That's an I'm not ready to deal with this situation right now. After a couple seconds, it clicked back on. Maybe after we potentially get the army of the Imperial Army off our tails.
I mean, it does add a bit of like liveliness, though. And at any point in time, you could get
Click.
jumped on by a. It's so easy. Well, in that case, I've got a game to watch. Click.
We are not making Aaron's life easy for this game.
no, you are not. But I'm fine because this is a group where I can push things slightly, and you will talk for 40 minutes, as we just proved.
It is a phenomenon that I very much appreciate in the game I run as well.
Yep.
So,
I guess if we're killing time, Sai is going to work out.
Yep.
do I see Sai working out?
Oh please!
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
because it's in the cargo hold. That's the biggest open spot.
It's
to
like
work
sort
out
of like
currently.
at some point in time, like just lean out from where I'm sitting and look out. Straighten your back out, and then lean back in.
Can Ares make a? I just want to say perception check. I want to see if Ares noticed something why Sai's working out so much.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will
Whichever
certainly
check.
make. What difficulty should I make that at?
No idea. 2? I don't know.
Sure. Standard diff.
Yeah.
1 advantage.
So you definitely have noticed this is a very new occurrence, and it's happening fairly frequently. Anytime there's downtime, it's a lot less reading, a lot more working out.
Yeah. But Ares doesn't care. That's why I leans out, looks over, straighten your back out, leans back in. What could you watching? If we're waiting long enough, after a while, he'll start working out too. Like one-handed pull-ups.
Yeah, you're probably waiting for a fairly long time. Powder, did you have something you wanted to do? You mentioned talking to Corey.
Oh no, Powder is just gonna bring coffee to Corey, check on Glass, check on Rainbow, just kind of checking in with everybody, making sure everybody's cool. And then if Sai and Ares are both still working out, Powder will kind of go into that room and just start making Tai Chi movements, which look hilarious on a robot.
Awesome.
Robo Tai Chi.
Yes, I am 100% for that.
And then at some point, Corey's gonna walk and go, "No."
I'm just picturing Corey stepping out into the door of like Corey's workshop.
Hey, you guys.
Ares doing one-handed pull-ups, Ciolo like doing at some level of push-ups, and then Powder doing Tai Chi.
Actually, even better. She walks in with, whatever it is. She's still in the process of like hand welding it as she's carrying it. I was like, yeah, so you guys, I just wanted to let you know that it's I'm going to be doing a little bit of delicate operations here. So don't come into my workshop for about a good 20 minutes or so. Otherwise, you might blow up the ship. Turn around, walk away without even having looked up and seen the whole thing at all.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Get back, sit it down. Oh, I could have just done that over telecom. Oh well.
Yep. Yeah. Corey, did you want to actually try and blow up the ship?
No. I just
Okay.
imagine that she is in the process of her usual tinkering. And let's be honest, half the time that could probably potentially blow up the ship, but doesn't because
Yeah.
Corey,
Unless
you
it's
are working on my
particularly
gun.
narratively convenient. No, I was just asking if there's something you want to start working on making.
that's true. I am working on that gun, modifying the gun. I don't remember what I was supposed to do to it.
Gun
but-
modification.
Make it go boom harder.
Oh,
You're making
I
it.
think size
Yeah.
worked for. I want it to hit like a truck.
I mean, it's a pistol. There's only so much you can do.
It's a. I think it's a heavy. Yeah, it's a heavy blaster pistol.
I mean, it hits
or-
more like a speeder bike than a Mack truck, but what I'm saying is a speeder bike is still going to put a big fucking hole in somebody if you ran it right through their chest.
That's what I want.
Or, as stormtroopers in episode 6 showed us, they'll careen off in one direction and explode. At the slightest bump in the road.
Your gun.
Yeah, I actually assume that is most Star Wars vehicles. Is they're all rather delicate,
Yeah, it's like flick it and it flies off and explodes.
which has been substantiated by the new movies. So
Yes, they are not.
Canon.
It's the newer they are, the more fragile they are. The older and ricketier they are, the more they can take.
Because the ones that are still around after 10 years are probably the ones that are of a solid enough make to continue. There's a lot of Star Wars lore around how all of the ship making and stuff happens and why the tech progress curve is so weird and slow.
Yep.
So yeah, I will with that with a size gun. So there's two things that I will try to do in terms of modifying narrative description.
Okay.
Expand the barrel size a little bit so that the blast that comes out is larger. And I want to add the blaster equivalent of a NOS button. A turbo button on cars.
Yeah.
Okay. So that one's not a standard modification, so you're gonna need to make me a design roll.
Yes. Basically, the idea behind it, because blasters have power packs that they pull the lasers from, would be to give it an option. It's a one-time use, I'm sure, to expend the entirety of the power pack in one hyperloaded shot.
Okay.
If need be.
Yeah. So
I assume the first part is like a blaster actuating module for mechanical purposes.
Yeah, something like that.
okay, this is a mechanics roll just for design.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 3, as this is something fairly specific and that you don't want to blow up.
Okay.
And it'll just determine if it works the way you hope, how hard it will be to actually make it.
All right. Well, I'll spend our last light side point because why the fuck not? And I'm sorry, what was the difficulty you said?
3.
3. Okay.
And the blaster actuating module is on 188 for the other modification.
In the core book or in the
Edge of the Empire, page 188.
A triumph and 3 advantages.
Okay.
And it's worth mentioning because I figure this will be the case when my tinker talent allows me to increase a weapon's hard points by 1, which I assume will be what gets absorbed into adding to making the blaster nos.
Sort of in relation to that, how many hard points does this gun have?
3.
Okay.
3? Okay.
The actuation module takes up 1.
And I haven't used any. It's just a standard heavy blaster currently right now.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm looking at this in the context of the power levels as they exist for various things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Given that this is so complex, that is going to be the 3, so you can just manage to do both of these things.
That and the accurate, that's fine.
Because this is a little fancier than an underbarrel flame projector.
Yes.
There's nothing fancier than an underbarrel flame projector.
You're wrong.
Shut up, Mandalorian.
Okay.
If I had the hard points, I would have had it mounted to my armor. But I didn't, so it went on the gun.
So you're looking for all right, so I'm trying to find the page where okay. All right, so because you are it's going to cost 100 credits, sans anything that's deducted by your skills.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I've got that and then some.
And we're going to make these 2 separate rolls. First is just a hard difficulty mechanics check so 3 difficulty.
Okay.
Mechanics check to make the gun shoot better, essentially. That's
right.
And Spencer, you can find that page 188 for the mechanical details of the blaster actuating module.
Yeah.
2 advantages.
Okay.
It's not great, but could be worse.
Dear Star Wars, when you have a system that is specifically about you don't necessarily succeed or fail, have a if you do neither of these things in your text boxes.
But then it wouldn't be up to the GM.
You're right. It is up to me. Yeah.
Oh. I forgot a talent I have.
Oh.
So
sorry.
That's okay. I will leave it up to you. But when constructing new items or modifying existing attachments, I may choose to add 1. I don't know what it is because it's in the character sheet. So if somebody can look up Edge of the Empire, page 137.
Yep, on it.
Smart. I put the book pages in. 1 die. I assume it's a boost die or a remove one setback.
What's the name of the ability?
Inventor.
You can choose to add 1 boost die or remove 1 setback die from the check per rank of inventor.
So we roll that with a boost.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I had completely forgotten. I have a long list of talents.
So do most of us.
That's
Mm-hmm.
two
Yeah.
two successes.
2 successes. That's fine. Yeah, that goes on easily enough. You've done this part before. It's kind
Yeah.
of standard, which is why you've got the other thing, because that's boring.
Yes.
So this one is going to be a hard difficulty mechanics check with 2 setback die.
Okay.
Can
Can I remove one of those because of the event? Okay.
Either way, it's your choice if
Yeah.
you want more dice or less dice.
I will remove the setback die.
Okay.
Because
I'm going to upgrade this one because I think it would be hilarious if you failed.
yeah, it's hilarious. Sai will blow up when he tries to use the gun. All right. So I will use a light side to balance that out.
Good, I didn't have to change anything.
The success and 2 advantages.
Spencer, if you're talking to us, you're muted.
Okay, so sorry. Go ahead and keep going then.
Yep. Yeah. So with the success and 2 advantages, you install a boost button that
Sweet.
essentially burns out the gun. It could be fixed after being burned out, but it will burn out the gun.
Right.
And do a lot of damage if it hits.
It turns it into a super zip gun.
So what should I put in, like, modifiers and damage for it? I guess.
Okay, so for that specific button, nothing right now.
Okay.
It'll be a surprise.
Well, it is a surprise, but also the GM
Unfortunately.
isn't going to try and balance that mid-game
Yes.
because then I end up giving you a bazooka that can take down Warcraft.
See, I'm a dick, and I sprung this on Aaron without...
I do this to you all the fucking time. In far worse situations, it's fine.
Also, it's not like Corey can test this to see how it actually works. So
You could, but you'd have to probably fix the battery pack afterwards. Yeah, and that is another 100 credits for that expansion.
So yeah, once it's complete, I will walk back into find them again, where I assume they are probably doing the exact same thing that they were before.
Yep.
I mean, now I'm doing one-handed push-ups instead of pull-ups because I finished my set of pull-ups.
Hey, Sai, fix your gun.
Hello.
Yep.
Do you want to join us? Keeping the
Join
body
us.
healthy is just as important as
Fuck
keeping the mind
no.
healthy.
What is wrong with you people? Of course I don't.
Well,
Here's your gun.
I only have one arm, so I have to make sure the other one stays in shape to keep up. There's a lot of physical maintenance involved in being a Mandalorian. You have to make sure your diet's right. You have to make sure you get plenty of exercise.
You've
'cause
started the
about this point-
Mandalorian stuff.
At about this point, I literally just turn to side and start talking. I have internally muted.
Still doing push-ups.
Yep.
So what'd you do? What'd you do?
It's gonna hit harder. And all right, so you see this button here?
Yes.
Don't push the button. Don't push it right now, I mean.
Okay.
In case of emergency, break open glass.
If you really need to do a shit ton of damage to something, push the button, fire the gun. However, make sure you finish them off because you won't be able to use the gun again until I fix it.
So does it just drain the battery pack completely, or does it break the gun? Because it's one thing for me to
Corey,
be out of
in
ammo.
this case, it's the
Yes.
same difference.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yes.
Okay.
But in the last second, I mean,
So this is sort of I'm staring down a barrel myself. I just need to end the fight sort of button.
yeah. Like
Okay.
oh shit, there is a long line of stormtroopers because stormtroopers for some reason move in lines and it's never made sense to me, but they do.
So you don't know the numbers.
The single file.
There's a long line of stormtroopers.
How
and
that
they're-
goes.
The sand people move in single file to hide their numbers.
Okay, all right. I will
and
be
the wolf is rich.
I will be very responsible with the
Yes.
shiny red button on the side.
Seriously, do not push it until you are ready to obliterate something in front of you.
Okay. Duly noted. I appreciate the hard work. How
Yep.
much did everything cost you?
It was 100 credits. I'm good.
Are you sure? I'd be more than happy to
Oh
pay
no,
you back.
yeah, because I've never done this before. By the way, I've never done this before. So, and I didn't really get a chance to test it. So you might not want to look directly at where the blast is going to go. I don't know if it'll be bright enough to burn your eyes out. It shouldn't. I am 65% sure.
Okay. It's depending on the fight. I'm often not looking at the target anyway. So
Is that
that
why
should be
you
fine.
keep missing?
I've never been in a firefight with y'all before.
Who is it that keeps missing in firefight? Anyways,
Powder.
Powder does
right.
miss a lot.
This is true.
As they're over there.
and she takes a come back, and I would hold it like somewhere like this or this if possible. If you're ready to push the button, somewhere where it's not your body is not directly behind it, just in case. Don't worry about it; it'll be fine. Give it back.
Sounds like I won't use it that often. So
I'm sure it'll be fine. It never goes wrong. But I always like to give people the warnings because they never read the warnings in the fine print.
I
So I
appreciate
like telling people it up front.
I appreciate the hard work. If you ever need those credits, let me know and I'll be more than happy to pay you back.
I mean, I'll be able to if I ever get to the point that I need to, I can use this design to sell to someone. It'll
There
be
you go.
fine.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you for the hard work.
Powder will look at you. If you're just giving away credits and put out their hand.
Yes.
You receive 2 credits.
Sweet. I will add that to my sheet.
Yep.
I like it. An operation I've needed.
That reminds me of a young Adhikar who found an old slug thrower pistol once. Blasted himself in the face with the kickback because he wasn't ready for it. Knocked a few teeth out.
Those hit kick a little harder than your normal blaster pistol do.
Oh, yeah.
Teeth are hard to repair.
Teeth are hard to
Yep.
repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Little bastard had a gap in his teeth for the rest of his life.
Because teeth are hard to repair.
Oh, this group.
Awesome. Okay, so for my own knowledge, mechanically, +1 damage. I now have
On
a
the
setback.
actuator, yes.
I have a setback die when I
Correct.
shoot it, and
And the big red button will be decided later.
probably won't be pressed for a few sessions, anyways. I'm expecting, so Aaron has time to figure out what
No,
they want to do with it.
I roughly know what the big red button does.
But that's what we're just calling it, the big red
No.
button.
This Ciola goes,
Also,
spaceship.
This is only kind of related, but can we do Guardians of the Galaxy as our next Sci Fridays game, please?
Sure.
Oh my god.
I'll need a book for that.
Yeah.
I don't think there is one.
There isn't one.
I mean, there isn't one, but that being said, I have been
We'll
looking.
get Pathfinder. We'll get Starfinder.
I have been looking everywhere, and I hope one day I will be able to find it for an original Marvel role-playing games book set. because that system is ridiculously simplified but ridiculously fun.
I mean, that system probably would work for a Guardians
I would
game.
assume so. Your ratings are things like phenomenal, amazing.
Yeah.
I would like to roll my
there's a number
phenomenal.
rating with it too, but
I would like to roll my phenomenal for hip thrusting, please.
I mean, no, it's like your strength rating is
Your ranking. Yeah.
exceptional, spectacular.
Yeah.
It's-
Wow.
Dear Marvel. Okay,
It was the
I
80s.
guess.
Phenomenal hip gyrations. Anyways,
The great thing about Marvel and DC is that they have put out stat books for all of the random characters in their universes. Yeah, but moving on.
waiting for calls.
Yeah. We're on a call waiting list right now.
Okay, so just so I am absolutely sure, you guys are waiting for. Well, you got a call back from Glass. You're waiting for contact from Corey's aunt.
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting for contact from Tiara's contact.
Mm-hmm.
And you're waiting for contact from
Alvad?
Alvad.
Alvad. Yeah.
Alvad, yeah.
Is there
Nailed it.
anyone I'm missing on that list?
God, I hope not.
The Empire.
Nope.
Other than that,
It's not a wanted call, but
there's always the possibility that the Shaper makes contact, but we're not waiting
Yeah.
for.
Okay.
hopefully
No,
one
I
of
was
the
just-
other three gets back to us before the Empire does.
right, yeah.
I was just making sure that I wasn't missing something else you guys had asked about. But yeah, within a few hours after Corey has finished the gun, Sai, you do get a beep on your protected line.
Sweet. Yeah, I will answer.
Okay.
Hello? Yes, this is Sai.
Hey there. You see a deeply scarred, he looks Zabrak, though about half of his horns have been clearly like yanked out of his head. There's weird scar wounds on that side. The other one, fancy Tiara, was asking me to do some work, fixing a problem for you.
Yes, we need some codes changed. Is that something you're able to do?
Of course. Are you in Tirena now?
I don't believe so. I know. Where on Corellia are we?
You're in Corvella.
Corvella, okay. Oh, currently in Corvella, but we could make our way there relatively soon.
Yes, head to the city, head to the Grav line. My contact will meet you there. We'll know who you are.
Perfect. All right. Okay. Yeah, we will meet your contact once we arrive.
Doing things and making people. And that is where the call ends.
All right. Yeah. So I'll just put on the comms over the ship. All right. We have the contract to change the codes on the ship. So whenever we're ready, we can make our way there.
Where to?
Yeah. The location. I guess so. That is
Tirena, it's another city on the same planet.
okay. It's a city. Cool. Yeah. Now, want to get your thoughts on this, Ares? I guess they will. The individual stated that once we arrive, they will know it's us. I'm going to assume Tiara gave them our ship codes, but would that be weird to me in this universe that they're just like, yeah, we'll know who you are when you get here in a ship?
That's not what he said.
Oh,
Specifically, you were told to head to the Grav line. My contact will meet you there and will know who you are.
Okay, so his contact will know who we are.
At
But we
the
don't-
grav line, not the ship where the ship is parked. The grav
Yeah.
line is presumably another
There
place.
is no reason to think that that has anything to do with your ship codes.
I was thinking the grav line was like like an area of the city, like a district.
The
or
Grav
something.
line is the subway.
Oh, okay, cool, perfect. That
Terminology.
makes more sense. Okay, then I'm not so worried anymore. Let's head out.
Right. I will go to the cockpit and begin flying to Tyrina.
Okay. So you guys have about half an hour of planetary flight to pop over there. And unless anyone has any last things that they're going... Okay. So you arrive in Tyrina. The first thing you notice that even from above, it's clearly designed to be scenic. There are large buildings, fancy plazas with well-manicured grass and trees. Tyrina has a much higher imperial presence than some of the other cities in Corvella, in Corellia, certainly higher than Corvella. Individuals mill around on the surface. As you land at one of the many courtesy landing docks that seem that are generally made available for tourists.
And is it very obvious that there's a heavier imperial presence here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they put their flag places, so yeah. Yes.
Right. So, best be that not all of us leave the ship at once. There are flags around. That's never a good sign. Flags in general can piss off. But, so, Cialo, you're the person with the contact. Who do you want to go with you? Probably not Powder. You kind of stand out, Powder.
Yes,
Fair.
I'm thinking maybe just so I don't possibly get confused on the technical mumbo jumbo, maybe Corey should join.
Yep, for it.
Who? What? What are we doing? Where? How?
Joining Ciolo to go talk to our man who's going to help with our Imperial problem.
If you're busy, I don't mind Ares going. I just assumed maybe someone who had more of a technical mind in case questions come up that I maybe am not able to answer.
Our Imperial problem.
Codes.
Oh, right. Okay, not blowing. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Not blowing up the Empire.
I'll
The
st-
other.
I mean, that's the way you deal with the Empire. But
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Powder and I will stay back here and guard the ship and the sick one. And the two of you go out and meet the person. Let me know if you need something blown up.
Cody's gonna be like, "I'm sick.
Perfect.
I was sick. What?"
Cody's character, Praz at
It's
this
fine.
point
Powder
has
took good care of
intermittent plot-driven absentee syndrome.
Powder took good care of him.
It's-
Fluids and
it's-
everything.
It's Corellian flu, which is code for drunk off your ass.
Also
that
possible.
was-
I'll figure it out when Cody gets back.
I thought that was Narshada flu
No, Narshada flu is something you have to get a shot for.
or spiced off your ass.
I think they make a cream for that now.
We are awful people. No. I'm moving you to a map with a picture of.
Or wait, is
It's
Narshada flu when you have a concussion because you got hit over the head just before you were sold into slavery?
No, that's Narshada rummy.
Oh, okay.
We
They're
are
terrible
terrible
people.
people. Yep.
You can get more of our terrible peopleness at Gen Con this year. If you come.
I love that
I
you're
am really-
promoting it via the worst things that were said.
I am
I mean,
like,
they should expect our best.
I don't think Gen Con is going to approve the "we say horrible things for an hour" panel.
I
Are
mean,
you sure?
Crazy.
they have Critical
Are
Role
you
there. What are you
sure?
talking about?
I'm so
They
excited
let-
for Gen Con.
They let Sam come on stage with a box in his pants. We're not worse than that.
Does have a
You're
point.
not wrong, but
You're not wrong, man. You're just an asshole.
okay.
The difference being is they're much more famous than we are.
I mean,
Only for
it's
now.
not Gen Con, but there have been cons that have put Rob Liefeld on diversity in the X-Men discussions. And he's not even diverse in the way he
Yeah.
draws the white X-Men.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have a leg to stand on.
Again, like, Kat's point about fame might not make it okay for them to say those things, but there's another reason that that person is there.
Anyways,
Because people like pouches.
they do. I'm a big fan of pouches.
Apparently, in the 90s, everyone came down with horrible art consumption plague.
People like pouches and hate feet.
I mean, I like
Okay.
feet, but I also like pouches. So.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right. So before I get really tempted to make my next changeling character the embodiment of a Rob Liefeld drawing, we're moving on.
That'd be an ogre, I think. It'd have to be. It'd
I
have to be
was
for the
thinking a
proportions.
Ferris.
I mean,
One of the two.
It depends on whether it depends on the characters. It depends on
On their sex, I guess.
okay, no, that even for me,
We're
that's
moving
going.
on.
because
We
Captain
are
America's
going
a
down a
fridge.
rabbit hole.
We're moving on.
That way lies madness. Stay on target. Stay on target.
Come on, Red 2. Stay on target, Red 2.
Uh,
All right, so Corey and I are making our way to what I have recently learned is a subway system.
Yep. Yeah, the Gravrail heads from the city proper to the beaches, and you see a lot of people that are outfitted in a way that would support that notion. Again,
Awesome.
and it's very tourist heavy. There's a lot of people with the weird big hats and the books with the trashy covers. Fight me, my version of Star Wars has paper in it.
we're in Victorian England. Big hats and trashy novels.
Corey, you definitely notice Sai is significantly happier right now.
Oh no.
You did accurately describe Victorian England.
I was describing Hawaii.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Victorian
You're in
England
a
and
throng
Hawaii.
of tourists. Corey is definitely like on the less kempt, more I was working on something
Yep.
part of this. Like she stands out here. Yeah.
She's in the process of assembling some piece of random tech as we guys walk along. The only reason that she knows where to go is she's directly following. She's directly behind you and occasionally looking just about that much higher up, so she can see where your feet are.
Perfect. Sai adjusts his pace accordingly then.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a pip in my step now that I'm surrounded by happy-go-lucky touristy people.
Yeah. And you arrive at the train station. There's a small holo display that has someone seemingly reading off some sort of news report from what you would recognize as one of the standard Imperial sanctioned news channels. There's another small holo display that flicks between that shows a few of the different routes that the rail takes, and also shows the times for the next. The times for the next trains. Corey, if you happen to look up from the thing you're working on, you would notice that the rail itself and the trains that come in and out are technological marvels, even by your standards. They're sleek, well-designed, state-of-the-art with these sort of large circles at essentially the base of the stop so that there doesn't need to be a deceleration. It just stops where the circle is. And then immediately goes back to its full speed.
Ooh.
Yeah. You see people sort of moving in and out, some clearly returning on a train that's just letting off, others heading onwards.
All right, then I guess we start walking around looking for the contact.
Okay.
Kind of working under the assumption that they will recognize us, but, you know, definitely walking in a way to where we're visible and can be found by said contact.
I'm going to say, both of you, if you're both looking, make me vigilance checks, difficulty of 3.
Okay.
Difficult. Let's see, vigilance. Okay. One success.
1 threat.
Okay. So you notice, like, you're trying to pick out someone who looks either too much like they're part of the crowd or not enough. And, like, you're zeroing in on this one guy. He looks like a mechanic. He's clearly got a large bag at his side. He's running through something on a data pad. He's got a hat pulled low over his head. It seems to be just leaning on the side, not actually getting on any of the trains. Corey. Oh, wait, if you twist it this way, maybe it'll get in the thing.
Yep.
I guess I will make my way towards the individual, not directly interact with them on the off chance it's not who we're looking for, but make my way towards them in sort of a, hey, I'm right here, and just see if there's a reaction at all. You know, kind of like saying someone's name out loud and seeing if anyone looks up kind of thing.
All right. Sorry, I'm reading things out of the chat.
We are terrible people. I'm sorry.
It's fine. That's what chat's for. Yeah, so looking at this person for a while just seems to be very immersed in whatever he's doing. Doesn't seem to notice you for quite a while, but will eventually sort of look up. Can I help you?
Sorry, no, we're meeting someone here, and I thought maybe you were the individual, but I guess not. I apologize.
Huh? He pulls his hat back down and starts scanning through again. And so at this point, like, you're like looking back around, and you notice that sticking out of your bag where there wasn't something before, there's now a sort of thin data slip.
Okay, I'll grab it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a small, just short data drive, probably a short message, something to that effect.
Okay, I will plug it into my little what are they called? Wow, I'm having a
Datapad?
complete brain. Datapad, thank you. I kept thinking of the word hollow, and I was like, that's not right. That's not in the word. Yeah, I'll plug it in my datapad.
Yeah, it's not a holocaster. It's just a data pad. Yeah. So you. Sorry, I am awake. Mostly. Yeah, you plug it in. And you get. It has some coordinates on it. They seem to be somewhere within the city. And the items, and it says, visit it. Fuck. Visit Tirana's premier pasta shop. Bring your own pasta, and we'll provide the garnish.
This is where the camera's on side, and you just see lean into frame. Did we intend to go to a pasta shop? And if so, good, because I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah.
Lean back out of frame.
Yeah. Two's just now at the camera. Sai goes, I'm assuming it's a storefront, but I'm also kind of hoping it's a pasta shop. And we make our way towards the coordinates, I guess. I will also send a message to Ares updating him on where we are.
Lean back to wherever Powder is. Apparently they're going to a pasta shop.
Interesting. Well, carbs are a thing.
Hey, so is grease.
Okay.
Whatever.
Sai, just to make me a knowledge underworld difficulty 3.
Okay, 3. Ugh. All right, underworld.
See, now in my head, I imagine Corey being confused, going, "Look, I may be a tech freak, but even I know you don't put grease in pasta." Completely misunderstanding what you were saying.
One threat.
I like the idea that Ares is a health nut. Just
makes sense.
It makes sense.
I can buy that.
Seems legit.
There's a young Mandalorian with a spray paint can who's just horrified at your existence.
Yep.
Yeah. So with one threat, yeah, pasta place seems. It might be a front. It might be a pasta place. That's what you get with one threat.
Yeah, like at this point, I'm kind of just trusting Tiara enough to kind of go along for a little bit. So.
Okay. Yeah, you head to the coordinates. It's definitely a more industrial part of the city, but the building you're looking for is. Well, it camouflages in well, but when you're right in front of it, it's pretty obvious that this matches the place described on it. There's a sort of hollow display that has a rotating pasta bowl on it.
Awesome.
With like a salt shaker and some greenery and like sort of hands. It's clearly some sort of animation adding things to a pasta. There's some large front doors.
Before we enter, I look at Corey and go, 20 credits that they have unlimited breadsticks.
I hope so. Breadsticks are the greatest thing.
We enter. Very awkwardly, I assume, because we don't know if this is an actual pasta shop or not.
I tell you what, if there are, I will spend. I will take that bet. But if there are, I will happily spend that 20 credits I owe you on unlimited breadsticks.
Deal.
All right. So I want someone to roll me a D100
See if there's unlimited
Yes.
breadsticks.
Yes,
because this
yes.
is not something I planned.
/R.
You sound like anyone in Final Show Films ever does anything the game master plans for.
I rolled a
Okay.
100.
Sure.
Cue dance hall horn.
Yeah. So when you enter inside, it very much does look like a restaurant. You assume a closed kitchen behind some swiveling doors, a few tables. No one other than the waiter seems currently in here, which makes sense given it's like 4 p.m. But yeah, we're at the front door will welcome. We hope you will enjoy the best pasta and seasonings in Corellia.
We have a really important question for you.
Of course.
I look over at Sai.
2 words. Unlimited breadsticks.
I take it you'll be ordering off the menu. Please follow me this way.
Yes.
I turned devil high five Corey.
We sent the least professional people.
You really did.
And I sit down and I enjoy me some pasta and unlimited breadsticks.
Yes, there are unlimited breadsticks and pasta. The unlimited breadsticks don't cost 20 credits because that would be absurd.
So much money for breadsticks.
I mean, that's why it's unlimited, because you spent so much.
Though now I'm having images of that meme of the me shoving breadsticks into my bag thing.
Yeah. So yeah, we
And
can
I'm wondering
time
who's
skip.
going to say something that makes this date go quickly and very awkwardly. Sorry.
But yeah, we stuff our faces, we
Yep.
get full,
Yep.
and then one thing I am honestly doing, since I know we're kind of on a mission while we're eating,
Completely forgotten the fact that they're doing something else.
is looking kind of around to see if anyone's like looking at us sort of in a, oh, I bet these are them kind of look, like, oh, we were
Oh,
expecting.
because you came in for unlimited breadsticks.
Yeah, but someone snuck some shit in my bag, so obviously
Make me
they
a
know what I look like.
Perception check difficulty 2.
Ah,
Perception. Okay, so 2.
this is the greatest game in the history of gaming.
I almost rolled negotiation.
You say that at least once every week.
No, I don't. I say it maybe once a month.
2 advantages.
Okay, so John, I know I don't do the Star Wars episode summaries when you're here, but I really hope that the episode summary is part of the party goes for pasta. That is what happens this episode.
That will certainly be in the summary, yes.
I mean, a major significant plot point of this episode involved unlimited breadsticks.
It will probably read that but snarkier, but yes.
Okay.
I know we
That's
don't
fine.
do episode titles, but the episode title for this is officially
Unlimited
Star Wars.
breadsticks.
Yeah.
So I do episode titles. I just don't hand them to John because they never usually get published.
I mean,
This
that's
one
fair.
was labeled under the city because I thought you guys were going a different route with this.
I mean,
Hey.
I feel like
This is why I
feel
don't.
like it's now Star Wars Afterlight Skies episode, whatever it is, unlimited breadsticks.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So you get your pasta, your unlimited breadsticks. And-
Unlimited breadsticks.
If I can get past those words at some point.
I'm
Si,
seeing fight.
you don't see anyone that seems to be looking at you more than just like the waiter who comes by once in a while and like tries to make eye contact without making eye contact to check
Right,
if
yeah.
you want water refills and does the awkward service person dance.
Yeah, I know that dance. Towards the end.
But
Oh, go
you
ahead,
do
sorry.
at one point see, like, you guys are almost the only people in the restaurant. You do at one point see some another group of people enter. The two men both seem to be human, generally pretty well dressed. One of them's actually wearing like a tie. They hand over to the server what looks like a wrapped package of some sort. The server opens it up, closes it back over, and brings out and takes that into the back, brings out a large tray of different seasonings, like salts and peppers and oregano. What else do people put on? Nutmeg? I guess people put nutmeg on pasta.
No.
Okay.
No. Like basil, cilantro.
Basil, oregano, cilantro.
Mm-hmm. All the
Okay.
green stuff.
The stuff that actually goes on pasta.
Nutmeg.
Okay.
Nutmeg goes nowhere near pasta.
Okay, whatever.
I thought part of your family was Italian.
Part of my family is Italian. That part of the family only cooks for not our family. He only cooks to entertain.
Hmm.
All right, so they are.
Look, I only know the names of like 5 spices because I hate spices. And after a little while, some sort of probably a ravioli that doesn't quite look like anything that was described on the menu is brought out to them, and they put seasonings on it and seem to start. You can't hear their conversation because they're pretty far away, but.
Okay. Eventually, then, if I'm not noticing anyone taking interest in us, towards the end, once Corey and I feel like we've had some nice talks, filled our bellies full of breadsticks, I will, when the waiter or waitress comes by, I will actually pull out the little message, and be like, we're actually here to meet someone. The food was delicious, by the way. But I'm assuming this was the calling card.
I'm glad you're enjoying your dinner. That's part of. That does seem to be from our marketing campaign. I'm afraid I haven't seen anyone else coming in today asking to meet someone.
It was just like some random person doing like pirate marketing and just shoving stuff in bags. It has nothing to do with.
I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Like, I went along. I don't. Well, it works. Okay then. I appreciate the meal, and I grab the basket of breadsticks, and I look at Corey.
You guys probably end up spending like 15 credits total, something like that.
Because I'm out of ideas at this point, Corey. So unless you got something, I'm leaving with a basket of breadsticks.
I think Jeremy has actually fallen out of his chair at this point.
Jeremy's dead. Rip Jeremy. You can send flowers to 555 Main Street, Portland.
Oh my god! This is.
Please send your condolences to Jeremy's next of kin.
Oh, no.
We prefer
Corey's
carnations.
Corey looks up. Sorry. What?
I don't know. I'm just as confused.
All right. Well,
I'm assuming this is not where we need to be.
back to the ship.
I guess.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. So we leave with breadsticks.
All right, you leave with breadsticks.
You update the ship on these events.
Oh yes. The moment we leave, I call and go. We have breadsticks. That's it.
What about the person you were supposed to meet?
We got bamboozled, so it seems.
Didn't he call you?
Well, no. The whole point was they
No,
would recognize us.
Didn't he
And-
call you to let you know that information?
Well, yeah. This was
Call
left.
him back.
I have no number for the person who was supposed to meet us.
No. I mute my end and look at Powder. Do you think he just doesn't, like,
Hey,
think about
and while
information? Or
Ares does that, I mute my
Powder
end
just
and
nods.
look at Corey and go, I know this pisses him off so much when I do this. Isn't this great? And then I unmute. I
Corey
get what you're
swallows
saying.
breadstick and says, "Mm-hmm."
No, Ares, I understand. I'm calling right now. I just want to let you know that we got breadsticks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm happy for you for your breadsticks.
Breadstick drunk right now. Yes, I
Carbs are
immediately
a
call.
good thing after a workout. Go back to the grad station.
I immediately call our contact.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, you probably do have a number for him
Because he called
Wait,
his head.
no.
He
No,
called-
Tiara didn't give you a number.
Well, the contact called me, so can I not just call that back? Is that a thing?
You can certainly try.
Star 69. No,
Yeah.
Star 67, I guess it would be.
I look back through my call history, and
Let's be
Call-
clear. Star Wars 69.
No,
Do not
that
look
was
that up.
earlier. With...
Do not Google that, kids.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
You people
Oh, don't
yeah,
worry.
I will try to
are
call that.
making bad decisions.
I will try to call that number back.
All right. Yeah, it sort of goes for a while and then gives you the essentially the equivalent of a busy number not found error code. You would know that, like, a lot of people associated with the underworld and the rebellion use either disposable numbers or encrypted numbers for these kinds of calls.
I guess I'll call then Tiara?
Okay. Just
Yeah.
out and straight, or you gonna head somewhere first?
I mean, I kind of look. I'm kind of. I don't. Spencer. I'm a little confused. I guess we go back to the ship.
Cope.
Okay.
There are no right answers in the role-playing game. No wrong answers.
There are also no right answers.
No. There are also no right answers. You are
That's-
doomed no matter what when you play role-playing games.
That's true, though I feel like, Jeremy, that's the result of the dice, not the GM.
I may be biased based on personal opinions or experiences here.
Yes.
I
I
don't know
guess
what
we
you're
go.
talking about. It's not my fault you picked necrotic energy.
Okay. Yeah, so if you want to know what that's about, the video upload is on Twitch, I believe, at this time.
Go watch Gran Terra Rebirth yesterday.
Yesterday's Gran Terra Rebirth. That one wasn't my fault. Okay, so yeah, you guys eventually head back to the ship.
Yep.
And you wanted to make a call to Tiara?
Yeah. I mean, that's the only number I have at this point. So.
Again, she takes a little while to pick up, but eventually will. She looks frazzled. She's clearly been running around. You see something that looks like it is very broken with lots of blaster holes in it. in the background, some sort of machine would be your guess. Hey.
Hi, Tiara. I'm not bothering you, am I?
No, I got half a minute. What do you need?
I'm not quite sure the contact you sent me to, but tried to meet up with them. Never got anything. Actually, ended up getting confused, thinking they were someone else. It was an extremely difficult roundabout way for me to get breadsticks. Is the very short story.
Okay, probably gonna need more of the story than that. Yeah, this guy, he's a little paranoid. Not a bad thing in our line of work. But he probably sent you on a bit of a roundabout just to make sure that no one was following you or tracking you.
Well, I get that, but
Breadsticks?
Best roundabout ever.
I mean, they were good breadsticks, but still, it's not very safe for me to be running around, especially in an Empire-located area, you know.
I mean, again, you're probably gonna have to give me more. No, the other button, not that. Sorry. Just because it's a bigger explosion does not solve the. What were you telling me about?
Can you get a hold of this guy and let him know to actually meet me?
Look, I called in a favor. I trust him to help you, but
He can't help me if he won't meet me.
yeah, and look, you're gonna have to give me more details than just that. I love you, kid, but at this point it sounds like you're a little bit compromised. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I did what the man said. No one showed. I got a coordinate that I thought was it. Come to find out it wasn't. And outside of breadsticks, wasted an entire day.
All right, you got some coordinates past you? What else? Was it just coordinates that led to a bag of breadsticks? Was there something specific about what they told you?
No, we were told that the person would know us. And so we waited in the grav line.
And you got some coordinates passed to you.
Yes, without my knowing, which is why I thought they were the ones. You know, it was in secret.
Okay, so we're gonna bank on the assumption that that matches the MO. And
went to the location, asked for the meeting, even provided the stick that had the coordinates as evidence, and got nothing.
All right. Again, I'm just gonna ask. I understand this was so you got a stick with just some coordinates on it. Went to those coordinates, showed him the stick.
Correct.
All right, I'll talk with my buddy. If this is a mix-up, then he needs to get his ass in line.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Once that conversation is over, Sai, I want you to roll me just what's a good logic roll for this system?
Negotiation?
No, negotiation makes sense. Just roll me
Oh,
negotiation difficulty 1. Yes.
2 triumphs, 6 successes.
Good God.
It's what I do.
Yeah. See, what I love about that is there's great odds that you'll succeed, but what I love about the system is that you could still fail.
Yeah.
Right.
But it balances it very well. Yeah. Okay. So with 6 successes and 2, you're running through what Tiara told you and just your general sensibilities as an individual whose specialty is sort of in this, not necessarily this covert, but in
Yeah.
negotiations, deal making, that kind of thing. And you do recall that the ad wasn't, that the stick you got wasn't just coordinates. It was an ad for this specific bring your own pasta and we will provide the toppings. Was specifically. And it also does strike you with 2 triumphs that, weirdly, they were advertising the best pasta in Corellia and then said, bring your own pasta.
Right, and I kind of made an assumption that, especially when I saw 2 gentlemen do their whole stick, that was something. I Spencer chalked that up to, oh, that was for black market deals and trades, not just to meet somebody. So
I'm giving you the information your character would recall. I'm not telling you.
So I guess we. Yeah, Sai just kind of sits there a little confused and.
So, you look like you're trying to process something, kind of like you got a thought that won't go away. What's going on?
Yeah. I fill Aries in.
Okay.
Did you bring your own pasta?
Oh, fuck no, I don't have pasta.
Maybe you should have brought your own pasta.
But I was...
I'm assuming, let me just break it down for you, right? So, if you're this person and you're super paranoid and you don't want anybody to know that you are, say, housed in the back of a spaghetti shop or something as a front, then you want them to go through very specific actions in order to have them meet with you for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is to know that they're smart enough to meet with you in person. So you ask them to do a thing that seems contradictory in the hopes that they'll be smart enough to realize that that's part of the code. So bringing your own pasta to a pasta shop would indicate that you're there for something other than the food.
Point of order. It was not a spaghetti shop. There was plenty more than that. That is reductive and unfair to the shop.
What I'm saying is, go buy yourself a bowl of pasta.
Then she wanders back out.
And then walk into the shop.
Just wandered in.
Corey
And say-
just has an instinctive sense of when to defend the pasta shop's honor.
And
Yes.
say, I brought my own pasta. Can you provide the toppings? Because I bet that's a code.
No, I
Don't
get
you work
that.
with codes?
No, I work with people, which is who I used to get this. I thought that was enough. Apparently, I was wrong.
Gotta jump. There are hoops you gotta jump through. There was this one. There was this one bastard on Tatooine who had the same thing, But it was like, bring your own hut slime, and it was this weird. It's really hard to get a hold of hut slime. Let me tell you. You have to they go through a molting process, and I mean it's easy if you kill one, but then if you kill one, you have to deal with all their money and guards and everything. But that's a long story. Anyways, get pasta, go to the shop, ask for toppings. That'll get you to meet the person.
All right, I go get pasta and go back to the pasta shop.
I believe Corey was saying something.
Are you going back to the pasta shop?
Yeah.
Aries, you gotta come see that. You go, it's so good.
Come on, Aries. Corey
All right.
already got breadsticks. You can get breadsticks this time.
I will go with Cielo this time.
Fraz will sort of lean out, looking slightly better. Powder, are you going?
If they want me to go, I will go.
Oh shit! Why not at this point? Let's go. Let's make a family trip out of it.
It did
All
look like a
stay
good.
back
it
sick
did
and
look
watch
like-
the ship.
It did look like a family eatery.
Does that mean they eat families there?
No.
Man, at this point, who knows, Aries?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I spent a long time in the Outer Rim.
All right, we go get pasta and go back to the fucking pasta shop.
No. Is there a place where you can buy uncooked pasta directly next to the pasta shop?
Make me difficulty 1 vigilance checks if you're looking for a place to buy pasta.
I feel like I want to help look for pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't find shit.
Damn, Aries.
Powder found pasta.
Success, advantage, and triumph.
So, Aries, you're like, okay, it's a code. There's gonna be somewhere like right next door. There isn't, but sort of before you were there, Powder has already gone over to a place that has like the hand cranked thing. I forget what it's called. Press.
Hand spun pasta.
Yeah, hand spun press and is like packaging it up and for a negligible amount of credits acquires a small amount of pasta.
We'll hand it to Ciolo. All right.
Cielo begrudgingly takes.
Actually, it's powder, so it's probably not a small amount of pasta. It's probably an accurate amount of pasta for the 4 of you.
Yes.
Go in.
I like. Oh, wait. Grab a bunch.
It's
Okay, no
it's
go.
uncooked pasta.
Yeah.
You go in,
Just as a note, this is uncooked pasta.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
and you say,
No,
I've brought
got
my
it.
own pasta.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it. There
I
you
got
go.
it. I got it. And I go
It's
in.
like it's the hawk cries at midnight kind of thing. Okay.
I go in. See the. I assume it's the same person, still the same front staff.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a few hours later.
Yeah.
It's a little more crowded at this point.
And I just sort of stand back at the doorway with my arms crossed, like a parent very disapprovingly watching their child.
Okay.
As much as you're wondering, no, we did not come back for another round of unlimited breadsticks.
I did.
However, we brought our own pasta, and we hope you can supply the toppings.
Of course. And he'll hold his hand out and check.
If he just puts like sauce on it.
He'll hand it to someone that heads towards the back, and he will right this way and lead you to one of the tables.
Okay, sit down.
Also,
Your breadsticks will be out
Thank you.
momentarily.
I'll go sit down.
This is insane, but seriously, Aries, try these breadsticks. They're really, really good.
Powder
I've still
will,
got,
will
like, the
pocket
help.
a couple of breadsticks.
I've still got the helmet on and just like looking, like
you have to. He's just like reading. You have to take the helmet off
gaze turns to Corey.
now.
Partake.
Pick one up.
Just like mushing it against the helmet. Now I'm just picturing
Open
Corey like
your
grabbing a breadstick and mushing it against the helmet.
The airplane's trying to come off.
Sai sits back and thinks, now this made it worth it. This moment right here made this worth it. As he slowly pulls out his data pad and takes a quick picture.
Actually, take another breadstick, break it in half so it looks like the airplane has wings.
Oh, good.
As
Jack, for
Corey-
the record, this is what happens when you miss game.
We don't have Jack here to calm us down.
Yeah.
I don't think Jack would help in this situation.
I
I
just
would
Would
just-
probably make it worse.
Just be
Jack
more
would probably
breadstick
blow
puns.
something up, but I doubt he would stop this.
No,
Powder
and-
is totally taking a couple of breadsticks to go back to the ship for Praz.
Okay.
I turn to look at the back and wait for something to come back out.
Yeah. So, given the speed at which you are going through the breadsticks, you actually get another refill of breadsticks before you get your pasta.
I really want to know what sort of cocaine they put in those breadsticks that the two of you were locked in.
I don't know, but I want to know as well, my friend.
And
Excuse me, have you put drugs in these?
Powder will take an extra breadstick.
That could
I can do calculations and find out.
that could explain why the first
Powder,
draft-
roll me a medicine, I guess.
Okay.
Difficulty
that
2.
could explain why on the menu it says the first taste is free.
It's a
That is
culinary
4
check.
successes, a threat, and a triumph.
With 4 successes and a triumph, yes, there's nothing banned or illicit about the contents of these breadsticks, though you could theoretically over time break it down and resynthesize with some of the stuff in your lab to make something that would be illicit. But that's not how the human body processes it, not how a human or Twilight body would process these.
Powder will look at them and like do the calculations. Go. It is the amount of sugar.
And I think it was made with love. He eats more breadsticks.
Eventually.
We are going to die.
Eventually. Two of the servers come out. One of them's holding a fairly large bowl of pasta and several plates that are provided to each of you, and pasta is just placed in a central bowl. There's also a tray with a large number of varying types of spices, many that you recognize, some that you don't. And spices, yes, in a Star Wars sense, but not in the illicit substance in Star Wars sense.
Not spice. Got it.
No
Not
death
spice.
sticks.
Spice the trade good, not spice the illicit trade good.
Do they leave the toppings? Like, do they just leave? them
Yeah,
there?
it's like one of those
Yeah.
sort of
Okay.
bedside table trays with lots of different trays of spice in it.
I will reach over and grab the tray and look through it for something that isn't spice that was left in the tray.
Yeah. So you notice that there's actually like several layers of napkins covering the bottom, and you like take a few of the spaces off, potentially putting them on something or
I'll
not.
just hand them to them so they can have their pasta.
Yeah. And yeah, you fold up the top layer of napkin, and underneath is
Spice must flow.
it is
Like a data stick.
no, it's just inscribed.
Okay.
It's just inscribed on the bottom. Bring the ship by. It will be a 3-day job to retrofit.
I assume there's coordinates on there as well.
It would probably say by here.
Yeah, okay. So using the onboard optical sensors of my helmet that I didn't take off, I just like take a picture, put the napkins back, stand up and walk out. Enjoy your pasta.
Powder found some really good pasta. So it's really good pasta and really good breadsticks and excellent toppings.
I mean, I feel like there's probably only so much to tweak because I'm already full.
You've also had pasta like less than an hour ago, so
That's why I worked out earlier today. Worked for sweat.
While I've left them in there, I'm going to see if there is a place that the ship could fit here.
yeah, like so looking at it, you realize that this building it wouldn't be obvious unless you were specifically looking for this sort of logistic things, but this building does connect to the next several layers of buildings over. It basically extends much further than this shop itself does.
Yeah.
And it, like, you'd probably have to jetpack up to be absolutely sure, but it does seem like the roof is likely the kind that folds back.
I will do that too, just to...
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a fold back roof, which isn't an uncommon method if someone has their own ship of parking it in the city. But
so with the Imperial, I'm just going to scan around the rooftop view and sort of see what the best approach path would be, and if I should do this at night as opposed to in the middle of the day, just based on what I can figure. Like, if there's an Imperial garrison that can see this spot, I probably don't want to blow his cover.
Make me a perception.
What difficulty would it be?
Difficulty of 3.
Let me just see real. I don't think the equipment that I have does anything to reduce the difficulty, but I want to make sure.
Yeah. I think it may give you an advantage, but
Scanner goggles. Where are you? You should be in gear. There they are. No, just allow me to see in the dark. Never mind. All right. Yep. Okay. So perception check.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
Difficulty 2 or 3 was it?
3.
3. Okay. And I don't have any destiny points, so just flat rolling. 1 success, 3 threats.
Okay, with 1 success and 3 threats. Yeah, so a nighttime approach would definitely be easier, though a daytime one is possible. You can see where the nearest garrison or 2 is, and this is definitely in a blind spot if you sort of approach from the left. You can go by them without, not necessarily looking like you're sneaking, but without them, like, actually noticing you specifically.
So over the comms back to Ciolo. I'm gonna have to move the ship over here. Probably take it tonight after the sun goes down. Meet you guys back at the ship, and then I take off, flying back to the ship.
Yep.
Because why walk when you can jetpack?
Truth.
Finish up our food and head back as well.
Yep.
And then wait for nightfall, and...
Okay.
Scene swipe.
And I assume you all went back to the ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking for an ice cream place after that. No, I'm kidding. Stone Cold Creamery.
Open world. You can do whatever you'd like.
Cold Stone, not Stone Cold. Sorry. Occupational hazard.
I mean, the Stone Cold Creamery would probably be a fun place to go.
The greatest ice cream factory in the history of ice cream factories.
Ice cream 316.
Ice Cream 316 says this ice cream's gonna kick your ass.
Okay, no, we are going back to the ship. Sorry.
Fine, I just had a drink out of my empty glass.
Me too.
Okay, I feel like the really inadvisable drinking game for this stream is whenever we get horribly off topic on either wrestling or Star Wars lore, take a drink.
Or Overwatch. Or
Overwatch.
Yep.
Go Shaw.
So yeah, fly the ship to place, park.
Yep.
Assuming the roof opens up and I don't just crash.
Yeah, the roof opens up and you land. The ship lands within. Inside the back of this shop is clearly some kind of workspace. There's lots of bits and baubles, and all the way sort of stacked up to the relatively high ceiling. There is just crates and boxes and pull-out shelving of random invention-y things that beep and whir and little bits and pieces. There's steam coming off of some sort of central thing that kind of looks like a hovering kiln of some sort. As you land the ship in sort of the cleared out area in the center, Sai, you would recognize the person who made contact with you, muttering as he's sort of poking with the long dowel at some pile of bits, sifting through it. For the rest of you, this individual is Zabrak. Half of his horns he seems scarred almost all over. Half of his horns seem like they were torn out. There's some pretty significant scarring on his head from that.
Can I see it, like, figure out if it's recently done to him?
Sure, medicine difficulty 3, because you're still looking from inside the ship. And I'm going to throw a dark side point on that, because, hey, use those eventually.
Alright. Let's upgrade on this side.
I mean, the darkest side thing to do would be to not use them at all.
Yeah, but I try not to do that, because I feel like that's mean.
Just a triumph.
Well, it's just a triumph. No, they don't seem recent. All of these scars seem like they have, as people age and grow, their skin changes, and these scars have definitely stretched with age.
Okay.
Even from a distance.
Park. Walk out to the airlock or to the cargo bay. Drop it and walk out to meet the person.
Agreed.
Little bits of pieces. Sneaky thing keep running away from me.
Just standing there in full Mandalorian armor still.
Hello.
I assume you are the pasta man?
Pasta. Oh, right. Yes. Would you like some breadsticks? Let me show you out to the...
No.
Oh, I can't. No more. I can't have any more right now.
Sai literally
Maybe
goes,
tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh, you're the one with the ship.
Yeah.
Oh. Do... Oh, that... And if she ruined my last hiding place, better not ruin my hiding place this time. This time, I'm going to say no more. This time, I'm going to not work with your kind again if you do it all the time.
I made sure to come in under the cover of darkness without spotting any Imperial patrols.
Good. Hide. Important. You need new codes.
Yeah.
3 days. You can leave and enter through the employee entrance to his shop. Anything specific you need the codes to claim?
Just that we're not who we are right now.
Fine. Good enough. Interesting. And, like, he sort of abandons the dowel and dives at this pile of random bits of metal. Grabbing and holding up what looks like a squirming, kind of like a large beetle, with sort of the half top of butterfly wings on either side of it, flapping very angrily. And as you look at it, you can tell that this thing is metallic. There's like little cogs and a few wires pulling out. You keep running away before I'm done fixing you.
You have a pest control problem, friend?
Not a problem of fixing it.
Well, if
And
you'd like...
he like gets a large glass container and puts it on top of the bug thing, which, yeah, once he stops holding it, it's very obvious is some kind of small Not
Droid
necessarily
from
droid, but
Yeah.
mechanical bug.
If you'd like, in exchange for your help, we happen to have one of the galaxy's foremost mechanical minds with us. Could potentially give you a hand with that. I say, indicating to Corey.
Okay. He clearly is not paying very close attention because as you say that, he goes up, basically knows whose two chest looks up and down powder, like deeply in their personal space.
Powder will just kind of stare back.
Not the best mechanical mind I've ever seen.
Not that one.
Corey, well, she's been in the middle of, I don't know, putting something together. It's like, what? Who?
No, yeah.
Powder
not-
will take the shoulders and just kind of turn this person toward Corey. Her.
He
What I do?
walks over and Corey, like, does the science thing of sort of trying to pull your eye open and flash a light in it.
Hey!
No, that's an organic mind.
Yes. Also a mechanic is what I was referencing.
What am I doing?
I offered your services if he seemed to be having a problem
I'm not
with that.
killing anyone.
I'm pointing at the droid bug.
Your services, not his services.
Your services. You don't kill things.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I haven't, but I generally do prefer not to. I'm sorry. What am I fixing?
Things.
What am I fixing?
Yeah, Corey, you can see on the table. He seems to have shoved it under a large glass case, a glass jar that he turned upside down, essentially. But this pretty intricate banging itself against the walls of the small old glass this jar mechanical bug thing with clearly metallic butterfly wings on the top of it.
Why is it in there?
Because it keeps running away and I can't fix the broken part if it...
Have you thought about the fact that it might not like you?
That's why I offered your services, Corey.
Sick burn,
If
Corey.
you could fix the bug, it might help.
Yeah, I can probably fix it.
If you fix the bug, I'll go back and get you more unlimited breadsticks for later.
Well, I can get my own unlimited breadsticks. Thank you very much. I know where the place is.
Yes, right over there. I
next
say,
door.
pointing to the door.
Right? Oh, are we that close?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I can probably I can probably fix the little guy.
Wouldn't want
Well,
our
like,
friend distracted.
Check what you have currently and get to work on. If you fix it, fine. But you're already paid up, so I wouldn't worry about too much. And he goes up.
As he walks off, I just go, please fix the fucking thing. Just to get him to calm whatever the hell that is down.
I mean, I will take a look at it. He's like, all right, but I don't think what I'm gonna do is gonna calm him down. But sure.
Mechanics difficulty. You just looking at it inside the case?
Currently, yes.
Okay. Mechanics difficulty. Let's make this a 4.
Okay.
Because you're trying to assess
Oh, look,
something.
there's a light side point.
I mean, there was. Well, that's 5 successes.
All the successes
Yeah, it's
and 4 threat. But
so critical success. It's it is basically, from what you can tell, exactly what it looks like. Some sort of mechanic, definitely not sapient sentient droid, but small probably modeled after some actual bug, mechanical beetle. You can see a few places where it looks like there's frayed wires. One of the wings is definitely, or not wings, sorry, one of the legs is definitely bent at slightly the wrong angle, which you suspect is affecting its ability to fly in the correct directions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more complex than a wind-up toy, but it's not self-aware.
Is there a way to remotely shut it down that I can see?
Not that you can see. There
She looks
really
at
doesn't.
it. Okay. So she looks at it for a couple minutes, frowns, is like, all right, yep, I can. So she grabs the the jar off the table right onto her hand.
Okay.
And she gets up and she leaves.
All right.
She's going back to her ship, back to the ship.
All right. Okay.
She can control the environment there.
Mm-hmm. And
if it flies off in her workshop, well, her workshop is going to be sealed up, so it can't fly. It can't leave the room.
Yep.
Well, have fun with that.
Whether it ever returns to this room or not is another question entirely.
That's fair.
And Corey leaves the other three of you standing in piles of junk.
I look around. Kick over something. This is going to be a long 3 days.
Agreed.
Want to go finish watching the game?
I do.
I'm back in.
Powder will go in and help Corey with whatever she needs. After dropping the breadsticks off with Praz, of course.
All right. I'm going to save that explanation for when Praz is here.
Yep.
Oh, I posted something on Twitter for all of you, by the way. And in the Sci Fridays Slack.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And we've lost Jeremy again.
You're welcome.
I love it so much.
Okay.
I could share it with the stream. Hang on, while you're box texting. Hang on.
That is so great. Yes, I want that on a shirt.
I love that you can share it with the stream.
All right.
Anyways.
Well, there is presumably something horrific in front of my face.
Well, not yet. Now it is.
We're going to start not with the pod race, but with the mechanical bug.
Something horrific in front of my face is the name of my Marilyn Manson cover band.
Yeah.
Tribute band, sir. Tribute.
Tribute.
No, cover. Cover band. Tribute bands are, yeah. Sorry.
Right.
Well, we debate the finer points of tribute bands versus cover bands.
I am seriously going to start a fucking drinking game if you guys cannot stay on task. And I don't drink, so I don't have to make it like non-lethal dosages. I'm kidding.
So I'm fixing a RoboBug.
Yep. So you've carrying it on your hand, you get this small creature into your lab. Powder walks in behind you.
Yep. Shut the office. Shut the room. Seal it up. Put on an oxygen mask so I can breathe.
Yeah.
And let it loose and see if I can figure out some way to temporarily shut it down so it will remain still enough for me to fix it.
I mean, it'd be easy if you didn't
All
let it loose
right.
first, but
So, given you had 5 successes before, I'm just going to say this is because it's hard. You can't do it remotely, but with 5 successes, you know where on this creature you would have to press the power button. So it's going to be a matter of just successfully executing upon that. Which I'm gonna make that a skullduggery roll.
Okay.
Difficulty 2 with a setback die for this thing being very fast and very tiny.
Nope.
So, Corey,
Whoosh.
you're like 1, 2, 3, if, and the thing just speeds off into probably one of the like cabinet areas on the side of your room.
I just wait for it to stop moving. And then we play the long, involved game that anybody who's ever had a cat has played. All right, it stopped moving. Let me go over. Oh, it's moving again. And eventually it will stop and you can actually approach it.
Yep.
Powder will just put out their
the cat
arm.
thing you do with cats is absolutely.
Like Powder will just put out their arm as a perch for it.
Yep. Seems to aim for spaces that are under things or in things. So
open the chest cavity.
seems like a bad idea, but it's not up to me. It's up to Powder.
That seems like a bad idea, especially with everything that's in the chest cavity.
Right?
Shing, got it. Wait.
All of a sudden, ding, 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 ding.
No,
And
no,
then the gun
remember,
goes off.
You guys bought a lot of explosives, and Powder has some
one.
of them.
Yeah.
Be a great
Ding,
way
ding,
to
ding,
go.
boom.
Yeah, ding, 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 and that's how we lost Powder.
It'd be ting, ting, ting. The sound of like an internal, like a higher pitch, like ding, as the pin fell out.
Yeah.
At least it's not. It's just a frag grenade, not a thermal detonator. So you know.
Very true.
Well,
It's just a frag grenade detonating in your body, inside of you.
What I mean is, Corey would be fine.
Well,
shrapnel is
maybe.
I mean, Corey
Because
would
it would be a
potentially
frag
survive.
grenade that would then turn me into a frag grenade, so maybe not.
It wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been the first. The first mechanical situation to literally blow up in her face.
Would it be the first sentient one though?
Probably not. All right,
Anyway.
we're moving on.
So, yeah, no, just play that slow game until
Yeah.
I will eventually catch up to
Yeah,
it and try to do it again.
it takes quite a while, and this thing does a number on your personal space, your personal room, but
Yep. That's fine.
Yep.
And once I finally get it shut down, I will start to work.
okay. Yeah, make me just a mechanics difficulty 2, and I'm putting a dark side point. It's not that hard once it's disabled.
Two successes and a threat.
Yeah, you get the sort of slightly out of alignment circuits back into alignment, and you get the leg just sort of into the right position. And it's a slow process. Powder, you're mostly just watching because this isn't necessarily something that you could help with. But yeah.
Powder's mostly just making sure that Corey is okay.
You have a no longer broken mechanical bug thing.
Cool. I will think about whether I will return it or not.
It's not yours, but that may or may not matter.
He kept it under a glass.
He,
He's abusive to his pets.
he caught it under a glass. He didn't keep it under a glass. That's the difference.
Not much of it.
Corey only ever saw it under the glass because Corey was busy working when he was
That's fair.
trying to find the poor thing.
That's fair.
Because Corey is Corey.
Yep.
And Corey likes unlimited breadsticks. Sorry, I put it over Praz's section of the screen and then just wiggle it around there for a second.
Of course you did. I feel like next week Cody's gonna look at the stream halfway through and go, guys, my face isn't actually there. John just left the breadsticks up.
Start out with it that way next week.
That's just the opening titles now. Just
I mean, oh god, no. No.
You are a terrible, terrible person.
so now we're
And you
waiting.
should feel bad.
I don't at all. So now we're waiting for our transponder codes to get changed. Contact from Corey's aunt related to the sale of the armor. And Alvod's response.
Yep.
And Praz to get undrunk.
I mean, wasn't there something that we could have possibly cut to in addition to the fixing of the bug thing?
Me and
Oh, that's right. There is also a pod race going on.
you cut
I
to
don't know. I don't know what it. Sorry,
cut to Ares
Yeah.
and Sai sitting at a table with a hollow projector and a drink in either hand, just going.
Yeah.
Hey, we have turned less than that into a 3-hour scene.
We have. Trust me, we have. Yeah, the race is. It's not necessarily going well for anyone at this point. There's a little bit of chaos to the entire proceedings on this one. It seems like there was a big pile up pretty early on. So now a whole bunch of people that aren't used to being in the front are the front runners. And they're all doing their best.
Okay.
This is when it gets funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely more this is where it gets funny than this is where it gets really cool and oh hey, underdog tactics.
It's like the Dallas Fuel against the Shanghai Dragons.
So.
Oh my god, we're going to get comments about that.
I'm
I feel
sorry.
like someone will see this.
I haven't been watching the Overwatch League, so I have no idea what that reference means.
The Shanghai Dragons are the worst team in the league. The Dallas Fuel are the biggest train wreck in the league.
So as we're watching,
it's more like if out of nowhere in the free-for-all match that Overwatch League doesn't have, the Dallas Fuel and the Shanghai Dragons were the only people left at the end of the free-for-all.
Yeah.
So anyways, Sai.
yeah. So just as we're watching, kind of in silence, I assume at first, I just go, 100 credits. The yellow one crashes not because of anything, just crashes as it because they're a shitty pilot.
See, I wouldn't take that bet because I know it's going to happen. Mostly because if you look right there, their engine's sparking, and it doesn't matter how good of a pilot you are. Once that thing goes out, they're just going to nosedive, spin out of control. It's actually going to be really funny to watch.
All right.
A few seconds later,
Someone roll me a D100.
Ooh, I'm totally on it.
go ahead.
59.
Okay. So, as Ares is finishing this explanation, one of the other pilots curves directly in front of him, and they both blow up in a fireball before the engine can explode.
I mean, that could happen if.
You should have taken the bet.
I mean,
But-
yeah, someone else interferes.
But after a little bit more silence, Sai just looks over, and very, how Sai gets on his high horse and gets really serious, and just goes, yeah, and I'm sorry for how I acted when I first joined the crew.
Hey, it's all right.
Yeah. Let's start over and just have this be the initial meeting point. How about that?
Sorry, I'm looking for a very a specific phrase. Kuyogarolor.
You're gonna have to tell the GM what you said.
It's Kuyogarolor. It basically means it doesn't matter.
And Sai, with a sheepish smile because he knows he's going to butcher the shit out of this pronunciation, raises his glass and goes, Koyokai?
What?
I think.
What did you say?
If I can read my own, it's whatever the word you told me is for cheers.
Koyashi.
Koyashi. Oh, that's my own handwriting. That's H, not a Y. Okay.
No, it is a Y. It's K apostrophe OYACY.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's what he says, but probably still butchered somehow, but enough to where you at least would understand.
Koyashi.
What did you say about my sister?
I feel like, unfortunately, about 50 to 60% of Mandalorian is really insulting swearing. So it's one of those languages where you don't want to get things wrong.
Cool.
Koyashi.
The other 50% is words for art, because Clone Wars is excellent.
Mandalorians
Sorry.
have a very diverse language.
They do. They just don't use it because they generally speak common or basic. Yeah. And that scene ends. Presumably, you all eventually go to sleep for the night.
Yep.
And that's when our ship explodes. Game over.
Now,
There was an Imperial saboteur there the whole time.
Tiara set you up.
And the final
Yes, but it's
closing
powder.
credits. The final closing credits are somebody in a cape and dark armor walking up to the ship.
Twirling
And
mustache.
Yeah,
I
red
mean, if you
lightsaber.
piss him off, if you manage to find him and piss him off, that is game over for you.
You didn't need to
guys. Like,
specify, though,
that
because
is not a winnable fight.
Sen also has a cape and dark armor now.
No, we don't need to specify. Sen is not that important.
I feel like if you throw enough fragmentation grenades at him, he can't catch them all.
He doesn't have to.
I wonder if he actually has
I wouldn't
stats.
try. He does have stats. Those stats are stupid because a player character could beat him.
Ah,
I'm kind of kidding. The stats are lower than I feel like they should be given
Yeah.
other things in the setting
yeah.
as they
Well-
are statted, but Darth Vader absolutely has stats.
Yeah.
No, he's weirdly bad at things he should be good at. It's a thing. It's a thing.
It's all that. It's all. It's all the cybernetics.
Is he weirdly good at things that he's bad at, such as describing sand?
There is. Okay, which stat do you have that's the describing sand stat?
I would call that an Outer Worlds knowledge roll. Because
I don't have Darth Vader's stats up. But also for those of you playing along in my made-up drinking game, take a fucking drink. We got off topic again.
We're good like that.
I don't know. It was kind of on topic. We were talking about Star Wars
And then we started talking about Darth Vader's stat block and my issues with it. I did it to us, but we got off topic. So yeah, no, the ship does not blow up. No, Darth Vader does not show up. Yes, the game continues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darth Vader showing up is Aaron going, okay, I'm done GMing you guys. We're done.
No, it would be Aaron going, this is a thematic endpoint for the game, and you have justified Darth Vader taking issue with you.
Yes.
So yeah. By this point, your cockpit is like halfway torn up as this guy has clearly just slept in the middle of his work, sort of messing with a few of the boxes under the console to start taking out the security protocols that allow for the codes to potentially be changed. Yeah.
I just sort of I sort of walk in, look around, look down. Is he like is he like asleep right now, or is he still working?
No, he's like under the console. You can see his legs.
How's it going?
Don't bother me. It's delicate.
You need anything?
Shoot. My workspace.
You need shoes?
Have
Is
your
that what you
shit
need?
back when I'm done.
I'm just like, you need shoes? What? Right. Well, call if you need anything. Turn back and walk out.
All right. Yeah. And shortly after you all wake up, you do have a communication from Alvad.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Corey, I'll let you take
That
this one.
would probably, because Rerun's not here, would probably go to Corey, who was the only other person at that meeting. But yeah, the group of you have a call from Alvad.
I'll answer it.
Okay. Alvad is he's sitting at his desk, wearing some kind of loose robe, with another glass of that some sort of red wine, in his hand. Hello.
Okay.
Who there, dears?
Oh, hi, you. Yeah, hey, what's up?
I just got the contact back from the delightful, wonderful, perfect Madeline, who was so kind as to help me out with speaking to you.
Oh, yeah, no, she was awesome.
Yes. Well, she tells me that you're in the middle of the process of ensuring that your medically inclined friend never again randomly assaults people in the street. And I just wanted to ask for an update of when you thought you might be done with that. I do very much wish to cut on with my business, but I do also have the luxury of time.
So I feel like we need to clarify something here. You want them to never do that to anyone again, or just you? Or
Well,
people associated with you?
It was implied that it was some sort of unfortunate bug, a programming glitch that you were. And I would very much like for that glitch to no longer be an issue. I do have altruistic views sometimes.
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely something. I can't say for certain it will happen at this point, at the etc. But and she puts him on hold.
All right.
Everything okay?
I thought
Yeah,
you
that's
said
her. And then she hits the
everything.
communicator. Hey guys, Albot's on the phone.
I thought you said everything was cool.
Eat a dick, Aries.
You don't eat those.
Yeah, there's no way to respond to that that's going to turn out well. So, you want to know when, we're going to get the glitch fixed, and I don't have a good answer for him, so I just put him on hold. Who wants to take this one up?
What have you told him already?
Pretty much exactly what I just told you.
I mean, that's all you've ever said to the man in the entirety of the time you've spoken with him.
No.
That's what I mean. What information does he currently have if we're going to concoct a
Very little.
response?
I mean, as far as he knows, there's some weird thing in Powder's programming that caused her to do it, which is entirely accurate and ridiculously deceptive.
Which means I assume he's only going
I forgot to put her off the. No, I'm kidding.
I assume that means he's only going to accept a programming fix as an acceptable response.
Which, okay, so here's the problem with that. It's something that we want that we want to do anyways, right, Powder? But we don't know how to do. We don't have. That's gonna take time. We need this to be quick. So I need someone to lie to him real good.
Okay. Did he present an alternative?
Not an acceptable one.
What was the alternative?
Not acceptable.
If you don't tell me what it is, we can't lie about it.
White.
Okay. Do you have a restraining bolt that doesn't work? Or one that you can make
Rerun
not
will
work?
actually pull one out because he does have one of those.
And
Right.
it's like crazy good.
Right.
He's going to check.
That's fine. Can you make it look like it works? I assume it shouldn't be too terribly hard to dummy up a restraining bolt that reads as working that doesn't actually work. Then you just slap it on her, have someone check it, and tell him it's all good.
I also have another crazy idea if that one is not crazy enough.
Oh, good.
And then I also have a very simple idea.
Oh, good. Are you going to say what they are, or are you just going to tell us that you have them?
Well, I liked the restraining bolt idea, so I wanted to hear the response to that one first.
Is it possible? Yes, conceivably, but...
Well, so, Corey, it's very possible. Unfortunately, sorry.
It's okay. No, you're good.
It's one of those things where I want to make sure that the lore, because this is important for you guys to know. It is very possible. Unfortunately, a restraining bolt and a wipe are nowhere near the same thing. Like, even if you put an actual restraining bolt on powder, which you don't intend to do, but if you did, then after you took it off, powder would have them would still retain all of their
Right.
current memories, and that's how restraining bolts are generally thought to work.
Is there a way to fake a wipe?
No. I mean, yes, if we had another of your exact chassis, yes. We don't.
Why don't we go find one then?
So I don't know if you were there when I first. No, it's we can probably find one somewhere in the galaxy.
No. What? You're telling me that if I get you enough spare parts and a head that looks like that, you can't mock up a droid that looks like powder? You telling me you don't have that capability?
Again, he's paranoid.
Don't give a fuck about him being paranoid. You're overcomplicating the solution, I think, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be all that grand. A bit of sleight of hand and something that looks reasonable is all it needs. You give me a torso that looks like powder and I fucking blast it, he's not gonna ask too many questions so long as it has parts inside it.
That's not how a memory wipe works.
I'm not talking about a memory wipe, obviously. I'm saying there are solutions other than actually doing the things he wants that aren't that complicated.
Okay, so I legitimately don't know how to explain this. Okay. Powder is a very particular modified version of a modified chassis of a fairly well-known medical droid. Alvod knows that. Alvod specifically recognized that fact.
Okay.
He knows this droid. He knows this droid model. We're not going to be able to throw a few pieces of junk together and fool him.
But he's not the one inspecting it. He sent out some broad to inspect it. He didn't come himself. You don't have to fool Alvod, you have to fool her.
Yeah, oh my god, when it was the fucking personality lie detector test.
Yes, when you tried to overcomplicate the solution, yeah. And apparently failed.
I turn off my communicator.
And on that note, I think that's where we're going to end for the night.
Damn it.
I feel like this very well illustrates why we spend so much time on the breadsticks.
Say bye, everybody.
We're ending with it on hold.
All right.
Goodbye.